We are live on Original FC back in the car. Big baby Anderson, man. Jared Anderson. Stopped in the 5th round against Boli, the Congolese heavyweight. Listen, man. Jared Anderson got dominated. He couldn't hang with the power. I mean, listen, Boli's got some heavy hands. I know it's the heavyweight division, but I don't know if there's another man in the heavyweight division currently that has heavier hands than Boli, because he put some real damage on Anderson, bro. He gave Anderson some real damage. I mean, the uppercut he gave Anderson in the first round that dropped Anderson. Boy. From the first round on, once Jared Anderson got dropped in the first round like that, you knew it was you knew Anderson was living on borrowed time in that fight. It was only a matter of time before he'd get stopped. After that first round knockdown, he was seeing stars. All right? But shout out to Jared Anderson, because I will say that, he did show a bit of heart. He did show a bit of heart to somewhat rally back. Can I even say rally back? I mean, listen, he was throwing some shots. He kept tagging Boli to the body, and he was landing clean shots on the body of Boli, landing very clean shots. So, but ultimately, I don't know how much of them body shots that Boli felt. Boli was the bigger man, the stronger man, and it just showed in the ring. Jared Anderson's defense of his head was poor. I mean, he didn't block it. I mean, listen, it was like it was target practice on Jared Anderson's head. The way Jared Anderson's head kept snapping back, bro. Jared Anderson took damage, man. And it was no surprise to see him get slumped in the 5th. It was no surprise. The ref had to stop it. Or else Boli would have sent Jared Anderson to another dimension. With Jared Anderson's a curious case, man, because it's clear to see that the man's heart is not in boxing. His heart's just not in it. And he's told you as much. He's told you he doesn't love the game, he doesn't love the sport. He's just in it for the money, right? But even if you are just in it for the money, that doesn't mean you don't put the work in, the necessary work in to become better, because in order to make money, you have to be good. You have to be the top guy. You have to be one of the top guys to get bread. I'm not saying he's not getting money now, but clearly if money's all he wants and he wants to get as much money as possible out of boxing, that still means you have to dedicate yourself to your craft, whether you love it or not. And obviously it's easier to dedicate yourself to your craft if you love boxing. But he's not the only boxer that probably doesn't love the sport. I can imagine there's so many other fighters that don't necessarily love the sport but just love the money. Ultimately, that will be your undoing, though, because you can't play boxing. I don't know how many times that saying has to be thrown around for people to understand. You don't play boxing. You don't play boxing. And the punishment that Jared Anderson took in that ring, that will continue to happen if you don't dedicate yourself to your craft. If you don't love boxing, then leave the sport, because you'll really get hurt one day. You'll really, really get hurt one day. You got hurt in that fight, but one day you'll really, really get hurt. You can't play boxing, man. You don't do that. I just think Jared Anderson at the moment just has too much going on. I know he's got a newborn daughter, I don't know if it's newborn, but very recently born anyways. So he's got a lot going on outside of the ring. I just don't think his head or his heart is in boxing at the moment. It definitely wasn't in it for that fight. And the proof was in the pudding, because he got absolutely dominated, man. He was taking enough headshots. Crazy headshots. Bro, his head was snapping back like he was getting hit with a sniper. I don't know how much Boli's hands weigh, bro. He's got hands of granite, bro. Hands of granite. Them hands were heavy. Them stiff right jabs that Boli kept giving Anderson. Anderson just couldn't seem to do anything about it. He couldn't defend. He couldn't block at all. His guard wasn't up. And he just kept getting caught with a stiff right, and it was causing absolute damage, and the damage took its toll. And in the fifth round, ultimately the fight came to an end. And you could just see from Jared Anderson's body language in a post fight interview. You could just tell by his demeanor. It didn't seem like he didn't seem to care that he lost. He didn't seem to care that he lost. He seemed happy that it was over. He seemed happy that it was over with. It was. I mean, in his own words, he said, "Listen, I'm just ready to go back to my daughter." And I can understand that. Newborn daughter, who wouldn't want to go back to their family, right? But ultimately, the man doesn't love the sport of boxing. His heart's just not in it. And we should have known from when you saw him break down when he was talking to Roy Jones Jr. I know, me personally, I was watching that thinking, yeah, something's not right here, man. Something's not right here. I get feeling pressure. I get it being tough. But the way he broke down was a little different to me. He just screamed of somebody that just hates what he's doing. Hates the position that he's in. And if that's the case, bro, you don't have to continue being a boxer. You don't have to do it. You're much better served off just saving your mental, protecting your health, and being with your daughter. I'm sure you've made enough money to do something else with your life. Do something else with your life, because clearly boxing isn't what you want to do. From everything you've said, from your demeanor, and from your approach towards your fights, it just screams of something that doesn't want to be a boxer, bro. So don't be a boxer. But don't play boxing. Don't play boxing. Because that's how people become seriously hurt, bro. With life-changing injuries, bro. Don't play boxing. The damage you took in that ring, bro, was bad, bro. Your head was getting knocked off your shoulders, bro. Don't play boxing, Jared Anderson. Don't play boxing. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Do we think that Jared Anderson bounces back? Or do we think that he should just give it a rest? Let me know in the comments. Unoriginal FC, over and out.